Good afternoon, guys, and what is going on, everybody? As always, this is the Club of the Man, 1993, and I'm coming at you live for my 2019 Money in the Bank preview and predictions. Hopefully, this preview and predictions will go much more smoother than last time I did preview predictions, which was for WrestleMania, and we all know I got heckled to death by a bunch of stupid idiots that made the list. So hopefully, this one will go much more smoother. So we're going to, as always, take a look at the card. Try to put this one in order of how I feel the matches will happen. But I'll be honest, didn't feel I did as good of a job with it this time. I don't know why. I just had a hard time trying to really structure this card. To be honest with you guys, Money in the Bank is not really exciting me too much. I was excited for WrestleMania 35. Of course, with WWE, I'm always worried they're going to disappoint in some ways. WrestleMania 35, again, besides, again, the only thing I absolutely hated from WrestleMania 35, again, was Corbin and Angle. But other than that, even though, I'm probably more so wishing that Sasha and Bayley would have retained their tag titles, because Sasha would not have, walked away like she did. But I still thought WrestleMania was still an excellent show. And it was a show that I was excited to talk about. Money in the Bank, although a change on Raw this past week kind of made me a little more excited for the show, because someone who I did want to win the Money in the Bank ladder match is now in it, and I still want to go with that pick. Still don't have the highest expectations for this show. I think we have some matches that could be good, but at the same time, I'm not expecting anything to really, blow my mind, if you know what I mean. Of course, also just to get this out there once again, as I've probably said before, there's a good chance I may not be able to catch Money in the Bank immediately this Sunday when it goes live, which is, of course, this Sunday, May 19th. May 19th. had to say it, guys. May 19th at the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. Basically, right by WWE headquarters in Hartford, Connecticut. But I may not. I'm going to be somewhere else most of the day, so I may not be back in time to watch the beginning of Money in the Bank, but I will still be able to watch it. So depends on if I watch by myself or when I start watching it. I may do some live reactions, not sure, but there's a couple matches I say I'm looking forward to this show. But again, I don't really expect too much from this show, in my opinion. But of course, let's get into the match card, because I still have other things I gotta get done today for myself. So let's get rolling here. Apparently, there is 2 matches on the pre-show. The first one is Tony Nese taking on Arya Daivari. Obviously, it's for the Cruiserweight Championship. Obviously, it is a new era in the Cruiserweight division. 3 of the biggest stars in that division for sure have moved on to, hopefully bigger and better things. Well, one has gotten some opportunities so far, Mustafa Ali, as he is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Cedric Alexander's moved over to Raw. All he's done so far is had a match on the main show with Cesaro and lost, and he was on main event 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, might be looking for Cedric already. And Buddy Murphy is on SmackDown Live. He apparently had a promo off the air like a week ago. Trying to start another feud with him and Ali again. So I don't know, if that's going to be the case or where that's going to go anywhere. But Buddy Murphy hasn't really done much yet since leaving 205 Live. So it's obviously a new era with 205 Live. And Tony Nese, again, like I've always said, I've always thought he was underutilized. I'm finally glad he's getting this time to shine. He's, putting on, not as high caliber matches guys like, Cedric Alexander or, Buddy Murphy were. But, he's done good so far as champion. And he's taken on a man that, I, personally used to absolutely despise because I thought he was nothing. Someone said he was literally like the Kurt Hawkins of the Cruiserweight division. But since he's come back from an injury that I had no clue he had, again, I've actually been kind of interested in him a little more, which is Arya Daivari. He's had an undefeated streak, and he's put on some pretty good physical matches. Unfortunately, I don't think Daivari is going to win the championship yet. I do think, Daivari, though, is, a good heel to, not someone who's constantly taking losses in cruiserweight title matches like Drew Gulak or, like Mike Kanellis. So, again, I just have no clue where they're going with him. But I feel Arya Daivari has been built up solid enough to at least get an opportunity for the Cruiserweight Championship. I think they'll put on a solid match, but I think Tony Nese will retain the championship. And continue his reign again. I don't know who he's going to drop the title to now that apparently Leo Rush wants out. Okay, apparently Leo Rush has had some backstage heat because he I guess he's been pitching ideas that of course they're turning down for him. And I guess also because he's wants his wife to be able to come to the Performance Center with him, which okay, you can't always bring family. It's not like bring your wife or take your child to work day every single day with the WWE, honestly. So I kind of understand that. It's kind of like showing he's just a young kid, maybe a little bit full of himself in this business, trying to act like he can do whatever he wants to do. So I don't know what's going to happen with Leo Rush again. I thought at some point he was destined to be the face of this cruiserweight division, like whether he's a face or heel, be the guy to beat in this cruiserweight division. But I don't know right now, honestly, who may be the one to dethrone Tony Nese. But I don't think it's going to be Arya Daivari yet, at least. But so I think Tony Nese will retain over Arya Daivari. The second pre-show match, and although this match sounds excellent on paper, I'm not happy. I don't get why this match is happening. Daniel Bryan and Rowan, the newest SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, taking on the Usos on the pre-show. First of all, this could easily be a match that can steal a show. This has potential, if done right, to be a tag team match of the year. You got the Usos, who are easily one of the best teams, in WWE in the entire world right now. And you got Daniel Bryan, we all know how awesome he is, and even Rowan, who I will give credit, I thought has benefited and played this role just fine, with him being Bryan's little intellectual, not little intellectual peer, he's not better than him, being Bryan's intellectual peer. I think, he's done the job so far. But I have a couple problems with this match. First of all, the Usos are on Raw. It's one thing if, the rematch clause still exists. Like if it was a year ago, usually the first pay-per-view after the Superstar shakeup, there would be, some Raw versus SmackDown stars. Basically just some unfinished business. Okay, I get it. But besides the fact that, the Usos basically came over here just to back up Roman Reigns, and also just came over randomly last week just because, they once ran the SmackDown Tag Team division. Why should they get another title opportunity? Which is my second problem with this. Going back to that segment on Raw, I think it was December 19th, 2018 last year, the opening segment to the Raw after TLC, where basically, Baron Corbin was officially fired as as acting general manager of Raw, and the McMahon's flat out say, we're taking over, we're not the authority anymore, we haven't been doing a good job, you guys are. Rematch clauses do not exist anymore. Again, that segment has freaking put a poison in my mind, because ever since then, nothing's changed. Nothing's made sense. And honestly, again, this product has gone downhill even more, thanks to the McMahons looking more like idiots. And if anything, puts more white heat on them, basically. Especially Vince. I gotta say. Put even more white heat on him. But, so yeah, why is a Raw tag team who has lost to this team twice in the past 2 weeks, last week in the tag title match to crown a new tag team champions, and this past week in the 8-man tag team match, even though Shane McMahon pinned one of the Usos, why is this team getting a tag title opportunity if they're not, especially if not even on the brand? If the rematch clause exists, okay, the Usos lost the tag titles, never really got their actual rematch, but even though they kind of did. So why is this match happening? I don't get, why is this match happening, and why is it on the pre-show? Again, I get, like last year they had like Rollins and Miz, they had unfinished business. Joe and Reigns started a feud before Joe moved over to SmackDown. Okay, I get it. And a couple other little occasions there. I get it. But again, my thing is why this time? This one does not make sense to me. So it would be stupid, unfortunately, for the. I mean, it's also because SmackDown has absolutely no other tag teams for Bryan and Rowan to face. It feels like, I mean, it looked like they kind of teased a feud probably for, the summer with Heavy Machinery and Brian and Rowan. I'm cool with that. But once again, after, they probably will drop the titles to Heavy Machinery. Yes, there is some heel tag, but there's no other credible babyface tag teams right now because Kofi and Xavier Woods are occupied with Kofi being the WWE champion. Big E's out hurt. Rusev and Nakamura are heels, and again, that still doesn't make sense. The Colognes aren't doing anything. The B Team are heels again. So once again, and of course the Hardy Boys are out because Jeff Hardy's injured. So again, what is there? Who is there in the SmackDown Tag Team division? They had like all this talent here in the SmackDown Tag Team division, all taken away. Makes no sense, but Brian and Rowan have to retain, especially if it's on the pre-show. Don't give it the title stick to the Usos if they're going to be on Raw. Makes no sense. Like the reason this match is happening to me just absolutely makes no sense. But Brian and Rowan will retain the SmackDown Tag titles. Just a lot of chat before we get anywhere. We got No Lara. Did you say May 19th where Kane choke slam? Yeah, I heard. Yep, exactly. And AWTNT deal confirmed wrestling is back on TNT. Nice. I did hear about that. I'll be sure to check that out in October. Larry, what's up, man? I haven't seen him for a while. He's just a sexy Mike. Sexy Mike! And yeah, everything's not too bad, Larry. Just, life is life. And, WWE, again, is just slowly plummeting downhill for me as, again, I'm really starting to feel like really burnt out. As again, I really feel like the product has gone to the worst it's been so far in my years as a fan so far. But thank you for and Vince and W are completely brain dead. Vince especially for sure. Oh gosh, but yeah, if you're taking a break from watching right now, Larry, it's kind of a good thing for you, man. But thank you for stopping by. It was good to hear from you again, man. I've seen a few videos definitely also. I've seen you post. I got to check out. I've just been busy with this bunch of our crap, but thank you for stopping by, Larry. But to continue on, though, the pre-show, those are two pre-show matches. Get to the main card. Again, this card was kind of just with how these matches feel to me. It's like, it was very hard for me to try to, plan out, when each match is happening when, in my opinion. So the first match I put to happen to open up the show is the Steel Cage match with The Miz and Shane McMahon. And believe it or not, I am actually really torn about who I want to see win this match. Mainly because there is one more match stipulation I want to see happen between these two. I thought, of course, that, The Miz and Shane's match at WrestleMania was going to be the only match they had. But obviously, with Shane just recently turning heel, you had to give him the win in some type of fashion to, get this heel momentum going for him and build some more sympathy for The Miz, which I thought worked perfectly. Again, that match that Miz and Shane had at WrestleMania was awesome. Like months earlier, I had no interest in this match. But again, I kept saying the problem I had, though, was it was typical, Miz crap I felt going on. But the fact that they went the opposite and had Shane be the heel and Miz the face, which I was always for Shane, trying Shane out as a heel. I've heard that, of course, Shane was a great heel, back in the day. It was first round with the WWE. But my thing was Miz the right person to be turning on? Again, I still don't think, they could have pulled it off much better if the turn didn't happen in Miz's hometown. But that's, of course, what helped, this Miz face turn work out much more. For the Steel Cage match, here's the thing. Shane got the winning pin this past week on SmackDown Live. He did. Which makes me wonder if maybe the Shane's going to drop here. Because my pick to win as of now is The Miz to win this match by escape or something. I don't think he's going to pin Shane. However, though, I'm very tongue-tied. I mean, I've read rumors, I've heard other people saying stuff. I've heard how many rumors of they think the eventual goal is going to be for Shane McMahon to be the one to dethrone Kofi Kingston. I've also heard a rumor that apparently there's a rumored match for Extreme Rules of Roman Reigns versus Elias and Shane McMahon in a handicap match, which that sounds kind of stupid to me. I mean, I'd be all for just Roman and Shane having a match. I give a shot. even if it is for the title. But we'll get to, of course, Roman and Elias shortly. But I just there is one more match. I guess I've wanted to see I've thought of this after the way how the Miz and Shane ended at WrestleMania. Honest to God, I think Miz and Shane need to have an Extreme Rules match. They need to be the Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules this year. I think, because once again, you use Shane's, persona as, the daredevil he is. And with this new character, the Miz has basically, seeing like he's doing anything he has to do, going from Mr. I have no balls to all guts in the world to do what he's doing. I think that could be a win that really helps elevate the Miz even more. Now, how do we get there, though? My thing is, do we have Shane win and become just a bigger threat? We have the Miz win, though, being 50-50. You get what I mean here? It's like I want to see them get to one more match, which is the Extreme Rules match. I really think these two can put on a great Extreme Rules match. Because of that, I'm still torn. I still go with my safe bet and say the Miz wins. Because if Shane wins, you bet your ass that they're probably going to try to throw Shane into the title picture at like Stomping Grounds or even at the Saudi Arabia show. Not watching. So I think the safest bet, because if Shane wins, he's going to try to win the championship. I'm sorry, if Shane does win this match, he's probably going to be the one to dethrone Kofi. So because of that, and we all know eventually by the end of this summer, if not early fall, Roman is going to be champion. I think Miz will win by like escape or something like that and lead to like an Extreme Rules match, or this Extreme Rules match. Like that. Again, I want to see an end result be an Extreme Rules match between Shane and Miz. I really think they can make it work. They made the Falls Count Anywhere match work great. Take it up another notch. Give them Extreme Rules. Give them Extreme Rules, and I swear we will not be disappointed. Well, I hope so. Again, I have my instincts, but do I trust the WWE with this? Especially with where the product is right now. But I will give this one to Miz, like by escape or something like that. Like maybe they're both trying to escape and Miz just gets out first or something like that. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, that's gonna be my opening match. The Miz and Shane McMahon inside of a steel cage. I think the second match will be the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Naomi, Natalya, Dana Brooke, and Alexa Bliss from Raw. From SmackDown, it's Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, and Carmella. Last year's women's Money in the Bank ladder match, to me, had a lot of depth in it. It was stacked. And this one has some depth in it also. Last year's, though, really, knocked it out of the ballpark for me. I mean, despite the fact that, Alexa Bliss won it and cashed in later on that night, was all right. But, of course, we all know Alexa Bliss has gotten how many opportunities these days, of course, as we keep saying. So, but last year's ladder match I really liked because I thought, it really had some of the bigger names in the match going all out. And there are some bigger names too in this match. Naomi's all right, Natalya all right, Dana Brooke, Miss Robotic Promos is in this match only because Sasha Banks is not here. Alexa Bliss, which if Alexa Bliss's injuries are really that inconsistent to keeping her out of the ring, they're protecting her so much. The fact that she couldn't even participate in the match on Raw this week, I'm really starting to get a little sick of this. Like, if Alexa Bliss is not able to perform at the best level again, why is she in a ladder match? If she can't really, perform on a consistent basis and they're really being cautious because of her injuries, then I really don't think she should be wrestling. This is my opinion. I really don't think she should be, if that's the case. Like, I just felt that way after they had Nikki Cross replace her in the match on Monday. Although it was good that Nikki Cross won, but once again, it will really do anything for Nikki. But don't give Alexa Bliss a briefcase. I'm sorry. Right now, yes, she has been in the title picture for how many years in a row? And two, is she reliable right now? Having the briefcase and being, the top woman on her brand. or what everyone call it now, since apparently the brand split's somewhat dead now. So this has been wild card role, but don't give it to Alexa Bliss. I don't see Naomi or Natalia winning. I don't see Dana Brooke winning. Dear God, please don't give it to Dana Brooke. If you are not to give her any type of serious push, don't give it to her. Don't give it to her. On SmackDown, I don't think Carmella needs it right now. There's people who need it more. I really think the three people I think have a chance to win this briefcase, or either I think have a chance or want to see. I do think that they would consider putting it on Mandy Rose, because blonde hair or whatnot, but at least Mandy Rose has improved a little bit. I'll give her credit. Mandy has improved. If you give her the briefcase, though, just give her it long term. She still has some ways to go, but she has improved. I am a little more interested in her and Sonya as Fire and Desire, even though they're teasing a breakup again. Because once again, they built this women's tag team division. Then they, split all these teams up, whether this through injuries or different brands or whatnot. It makes no sense, and already this tag team division for the women feels dead. So Mandy Rose is one person I think may win. Ember Moon, despite the fact they've never really done too much with her ever since she came over to SmackDown, she took the pinfall in in like a triple threat or something like that recently. They haven't really done much with her really besides that, but I think she could benefit from being Miss Money in the Bank. But of course, my pick to win this match is Bayley. I've really liked how Bayley's been booked this year. Not just before she came to SmackDown, but even beforehand too. She's seemed more aggressive in the ring. Her matches have improved. Her promos have improved for sure. She's becoming a little like more serious with it. Not like, I'm not sure if they're trying to tease an eventual heel turn or something from her, but I think, if you want to keep this momentum going for Bayley, at least give her the briefcase. I mean, I don't know if she cashed in on Sunday or at some point. I don't know when or where it would happen, but I think it should be Bayley, especially also if, after the years she has gone through, having constant matches with the Riot Squad, having a long, dragged-out tension with her and Sasha that went absolutely nowhere. Well, again, it was supposed to lead them to win the tag titles at SummerSlam last year, but Vince didn't like the designs of the belts. That's why they pushed it off further and just made them look even more like idiots for months and months out down the line. Also, tried to pull a Team Hell No on them, which was just stupid. But I listened to the Lex Man's predictions before I started this stream. And he said this, and I'm wondering if this is true. Does anyone else think that they're only giving Bayley a more serious, some more serious booking recently to try to, bait Sasha into coming back? But I think a lot of people are getting more smart these days. I'm sure a lot of people are done with Vince playing their games like, playing fetch. Oh, come get it. Come get it. Come get it. Come get it. No, not the case. I think Sasha is standing her ground, and she will not be coming back until Triple H, becomes in charge of creative or something like that. But not happening anytime soon as long as Vince McMahon is alive. But I think Bayley will win the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. That's my pick for that match. One more, and then we'll I'll check the live chat again. My next match I think will happen, even though I'm still very curious based off who I think is going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't think both world title matches are taking place before the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. But I think the next match on this card will be the WWE title match with Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens. A good opponent for Kofi to definitely be, defending the championship against, I feel, for his first title defense, even though originally this was supposed to be a rematch with Kofi and Bryan, but since Bryan had that injury and his future was uncertain, they scratched that. But when he was, of course, able to do it, they had the match on Raw to draw a ring, and ended up being one of the worst Raws I've ever seen. Last Monday, May 6, 2019, I know it was worse. That Raw or the November 26th Raw last year. God, it was so terrible. Anyways, so obviously plans changed. And I know some people are wondering, why didn't they just do Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton? which I could have seen like them doing that. But my only thing is okay, they could have done it, but I can kind of understand why they didn't. And that's because, think about it. Kofi Kingston was part of the gauntlet match that, he no, wait, I'm sorry. He didn't pin Randy in that first gauntlet match, because Randy won that gauntlet match when he hit an RKO out of nowhere on AJ Styles. But he did pin Randy inside the Elimination Chamber, and he also pinned Randy in the second gauntlet match he was in. I can kind of understand if they didn't want to have Kofi and Orton feud because of that, but if it wasn't that, it would make prime sense for Kofi and Orton to feud, because once again, who was the one that basically killed Kofi's push back in 2009? Randy Orton. Kevin Owens, though, is a reasonable opponent because, I can respect the fact that they've had Kofi have a couple title defenses and he's retained both times. At least they haven't shown you, okay, Kofi wins the championship, but he can't retain it. At least I respect that they did that with Kofi. I won't deny that I still kind of have that soft spot and was interested in seeing, where they were going to go with Kevin Owens and the babyface. As rumors have it, they were going to make Kevin Owens like their number 2 babyface on SmackDown, behind Roman Reigns, of course. And I was interested somewhat what he was already doing as a babyface. But then, of course, they went into a panic and turned Owens heel again and had him feud Kofi, which the build's been all right. But once again, they're still showing, walk Owens walk instead of fight Owens fight. But he's still in that position even as a heel where it's like, it can go either way, and I feel like, it won't make that much of a difference. Like, if Owens wins the belt here off of Kofi, fine. But I think Kofi should retain and get a little bit of a longer run. I don't know, again, who will be the one to dethrone him. If Roman is going to win the title by this summer, don't have me be the one to dethrone Kofi. Which, of course, who else would it be? Shane? I mean, I guess I'd be okay with that, but not the greatest option. I mean, Owens, I'd be fine with. Of course, I have another possible situation with this, but I'll wait till I talk about my Money in the Bank winner. Who else? I mean, I'm just not sure. Although, again, I heard that one rumor a couple weeks ago about Jinder Mahal. No. He's done nothing, absolutely nothing. He's just been in a match that didn't even happen on SmackDown. Why on earth would you give Jinder Mahal a title opportunity? Don't do it. Do not have Jinder win the championship just to have someone who someone absolutely hates have just so Roman can win the title off of him. Do not do that. Do not. I swear, do not give that title back to Jinder Mahal. But I think Kofi will retain here. Now, I had another possible scenario, but I will mention it, of course, after I talk about my men's Money in the Bank prediction. I kind of mentioned this in my live review of Raw the other night. But before we get to the next 2 matches, since they involve Becky 2 belts, let's get to the live chat. Let's see here. Let me see here. He only watches the large segments, and actually there's something I find interesting in, but I just can't watch the shows anymore. I don't blame you, Larry. Again, it's not it's just a tough time. Again, really, this has been the most burned out I felt as a wrestling fan so far. And it's a shame. Again, and it's mainly this wild card rule. Again, this wild card rule that just makes absolutely no sense. And apparently, according to the Lex man, there was some interview with some 3-hour podcast with a writer from WWE who apparently went off on Vince McMahon and said a lot of this stuff and said that wild card rule was only thought of the morning of the show, which does not surprise me. Again, that's been the biggest thing, just dragging this product down. That and just the inconsistent superstar shakeup this year just really has dragged me down big time over the past month or so. So it's going to be a long summer. He says, thanks for not forgetting me. Really appreciate it. Of course, man. Still have to check out the second half of your Mania video. It looks so awesome for sure. The Roman agenda continues. Yep, we'll see. Of course, we'll talk about that in a second. Feeding everyone to Big Doggy Reigns. Big Doggy Reigns. Right, for sure. No Saudi Arabia show for the 2 of us, Mike. Promise? Yes, promise. Not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm not doing card predictions. Not doing any predictions. I am not watching Super Showdown. I don't care if Goldberg and Undertaker is going to be the main event of that show. I'm not going to watch it. Not watching it. And I hear also there's some superstars who, again, do not want to go back to Saudi Arabia, which hats off to them for speaking up. But Dana Brooke and Money in the Bank, ha ha ha. Holy, left a little light. Yeah, for sure. Give Heel Bailey, which would be interesting to chat. Thanks for a little chat. It was always a good time here as always. For sure, Larry. Thank you again for stopping by. And let's continue on. So the next two matches, honestly, in my opinion, I really feel is a must-win situation for both these matches. Becky Two Belts, Becky Lynch is taking on Lacey Evans for the Raw Women's Championship and Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, why is this a must-win situation for Becky for me? Because Becky Lynch, of course, has developed this new persona, being the man, doing whatever she has to do to get to the top. Even though they're trying to make her a heel role for it first. But again, it was basically, a Stone Cold Steve Austin move where it's like the fans refused to boo Becky because she was doing it against the people that we know Vince just favors and gives how many title opportunities to Charlotte Flair. No offense, Charlotte, you're an excellent talent, but you've had how many opportunities, and we wanted to see people like Becky Lynch succeed. So Becky, of course, does. But the thing is also, here's the thing. If, let's say, again, as I've always said, the build for the women's triple threat WrestleMania, they made it much more complicated than it needed to be. If they would have just had, Charlotte beat Becky to be added to this triple threat match, which we all knew was going to happen, even though I did kind of want to see just a one-on-one match with just Ronda and Becky, which I still would like to see happen when Ronda comes back from her hiatus, whenever that may be, probably not for another year, who knows. I think I could have accepted this match a little bit more. But the fact of the matter is, one, the rules of the match stand. Charlotte knew that it was winner takes all. Charlotte wanting that you didn't beat me for my title. Well, the thing is, the irony is, Becky has beaten you how many times over the last, 9 months? How many times? Becky has nothing to prove. We know she can beat Charlotte. Having this whole idea of you have to fight two people one night. Again, isn't this what we're supposed to have? Giving Becky two belts, really, to me, embraces this persona more. I feel if Becky would lose any of these matches, which is why I'm saying I really think Becky should retain. That's my pick. Becky needs to retain, but I'm worried she's going to at least drop one of these belts. And the person I think she's going to drop it to is the worst case scenario is Charlotte. And I say that because Becky Lynch this whole entire time has been trying to, shut up Charlotte. Basically, the whole thing, again, Becky Lynch in this whole story has been us. We've been tired of seeing Charlotte getting how many opportunities after opportunities. The only time she doesn't get an opportunity is when she's not there. The moment she's not there, she doesn't get opportunities. Last year, she had surgery to fix her boob. She just dropped out. She had just, lost her title to Carmella, then was in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match last year. And then she went away for about a month or so to get her boob fixed. Came back, immediately got a match to be inserted into the women's title match at SummerSlam last year. Why? What did she do to earn this opportunity? When everyone's telling her, hey, get in the back of the line. To me, not only would Becky losing one of these matches kill her whole, badass persona, she's got to retain both of them at least one time. Just one time, one pay-per-view, and I'll be happy. If the next pay-per-view, then again, women don't wrestle in Saudi Arabia at Stomping Grounds. If you want to have Becky drop one of them, fine. Just one, not the Charlotte, and two, at least give her another month with both the titles. Because dropping the Charlotte again would just, make her win at WrestleMania look like a fluke, and kind of be one of those things where it's the opposite. It should be if anybody should be overcoming someone that they're not able to beat, it should be a baby face. Like, like Johnny Gargano overcoming Tommaso Ciampa. What would have happened at TakeOver New York if Ciampa did not get hurt? Ciampa has beaten Gargano how many times in a row, and this is finally getting his comeuppance. Why would we want to see Charlotte finally get her comeuppance on Becky Lynch when Charlotte's the heel? But, of course, I'm still going to say Becky retains both belts. And Lacey Evans, again, I'm sorry. I didn't say I never liked Lacey Evans, but I never really was too high on her yet when she was in NXT. I didn't think she was ready for the main roster. I mean, give her credit, yeah. She can talk. She has promos. She's somewhat athletic. I don't like her finisher, and it's just what she done on the main roster to really, even people who don't watch NXT, to get to know who this woman really is. Like, who is this woman that we don't know? They never even mentioned once that she was I don't think they mentioned once that she was a former Marine or whatnot. So it's too early to give the belt to Lacey Evans. So if anything, if Charlotte is to drop one, I think she is going to drop it to Charlotte, because I really think, one, Raw needs women. Raw has almost not too much depth in their women's division right now. And two, Becky and Seth are dating, and of course, now they're trying to hold this thing where they're trying to keep both couples on the same show. So if the title's going to drop first, I think it's going to be the SmackDown Women's title. Again, it's one thing if she drops it to Charlotte, but it's one thing if she drops both titles. But Becky needs to retain both belts this Sunday. This is a must-win situation. After that, if they want her to drop one of the belts, let's say, like Stomping Grounds next month, fine with me. Just not the Charlotte. Seriously, again, Becky does not need to be Charlotte and Becky, just need a break from each other. That's why, of course, even once one of the belts are dropped, Becky just needs to go on Raw and stay there and have her and Charlotte stay as far away from each other for a time being. So for both matches, I think it's safe to say I think Becky. Well, it's not safe. This is risky for me to say, but I think Becky should retain both belts this time at least. Please don't put the belt back on Charlotte, unless you're going to have the Bailey cash in or something. But I don't know. I think Becky should have at least one more month with both those belts to really solidify the fact that she really is the man. Like if Becky can't handle, two matches in the same night, why call her the man? So it's just what I personally think. So we have those two results of Becky Lynch retaining both belts. All right. Roman Reigns versus Elias. Now, credit where credit is due. Here's a few things I will say. First off, I think it was sometime maybe in late 2017 when Roman Reigns was the Intercontinental Champion for 6 weeks while The Miz was gone doing a movie. I'll give these two credit. They actually had a pretty good match on Raw for the Intercontinental title in late 2017. I'll give them credit. I thought that was a good match, and Roman did make Elias look good. And I will respect the WWE for at least, when Roman came back from his leukemia, they didn't throw him back into the title picture right away. And they're not doing that right away. They're, they kind of gave him a little bit of a different gimmick, a little repackage based off of his, his battle with leukemia. And so I can at least respect that they haven't rushed him back into the title picture yet. Although there obviously is a long-term plan to give Roman the title by probably end of the summer, if not early in the fall, which I see happening. I'm going to say right now it's going to happen and whatnot. And, yes, this match kind of feels like what they did with Money in the Bank last year, giving Roman just like the cool-down match of the card when he faced Jinder Mahal. I'd much rather see Roman Reigns versus Elias than Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal, but does this match really feel pay-per-view worthy? I don't think so. If they really wanted to, put Roman Reigns over, they could have given him someone a little more, a heel that, could have taken a loss right here. It wouldn't have really hurt them. I mean, yes, that's kind of the case for Elias, but do you really think Elias has a chance at winning this match? I really don't think so. Although when I read that rumor of apparently a possible match with Roman Reigns versus Shane and Elias in a 2-on-1 handicap match at Extreme Rules, maybe they would give Elias the win here through some type of cheating tactic or something. But I think Roman's winning this. Roman gets the win here. It's just a cool down match. Again, eventually Roman's going to be champion again. I just say just book him right, but with him in this wild card role. I mean, yes, I get why the character is doing this, because saying the whole thing that Vince is he's not tired of listening to Vince all the time doing this and whatnot. But once again, if it wasn't for Roman, would this wild card rule really be happening? Like, Roman does not need to be on both shows. I don't know. So I guess, again, the whole, Roman had returned from a life-threatening illness thing is definitely starting to wear off on myself and a lot of other people. But again, all I just say, just book the guy right. That's all we ask for. Don't book him in a way that has your company telling the fans, hey, screw you all, we're doing this. Don't do that. The guy's talented. I respect the man. Just book him right. That's all we ask for. Just book him right. But that's I'll talk more about that match. Why is Adobe Flash Player randomly showing up on my computer? Anyways, so we have that. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ricochet versus Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre versus, originally it's supposed to be Braun Strowman from Raw, but now it's Sami Zayn. For SmackDown, we got Finn Balor, Andrade, Randy Orton, and Mustafa Ali. For the most part, with the exception of Baron Corbin, that's a pretty good set of people to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. However, do most of these guys really need the briefcase? Well, I could say I feel a bit better about that, because there is someone in this match I do feel needs the briefcase. Now, like when Braun Strowman was in this match, I'm like, why? Like, why does Braun need to be in this match again? You had him not succeed with Money in the Bank last year. And again, Braun Strowman's at a point like Braun Strowman's almost like dead in the water right now, it feels like. Apparently, Braun's still hurt, dealing with some injuries, which is why they took him out of the match. I don't know if that was the long-term plan, was to have Braun in the match and have Sami Zayn get put over by taking Braun out, even though he had a little too much help from Corbin and McIntyre in their Falls Count Anywhere match on Raw this week. But apparently Braun is hurt. And honestly, that might be the best thing for Braun to do, is take some time off right now, because besides maybe a few with either Drew McIntyre or even a few with Samoa Joe, which I thought they were going with for Money in the Bank, because he randomly showed up on SmackDown and attacked Joe on the SmackDown after WrestleMania, but they didn't do that, because why would they continue things on? It's continuity. It doesn't exist in WWE. But I think the best thing for Strowman right now is definitely take some time off, because he's literally just running in circles right now. Running in circles, run people over like he's a big 18 wheeler. That's all he's doing. He's running around in circles. But anyways, so I do appreciate there's a lot of good high flyers in this match. Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Finn Balor, Andrade, and Mustafa Ali. 5 high flyers against a couple bigger men like Randy Orton, who works well with high flyers. Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin. The only person, hold on, I got to take this call. Told him I was live streaming. Anyways, so I'm sorry about that. But a good match again. The only person I can say I absolutely do not want to win this briefcase is Baron Corbin, because why would they? I mean, especially if it seems like they're building up Baron Corbin to be the one to challenge Seth Rollins for the Universal title over the summer. You know what? At a B pay-per-view, whatever. Don't put the title on Corbin right now. I mean, I'm sorry, again, like if I said, if it was 2016's Baron Corbin, I'd be, interested in seeing Baron Corbin as champion. Right now, though, they just really overexposed him and just like made him into just completely different. He's just a big mess. I hate when he smiles and claps. I absolutely hate it. Oh my gosh, guys, this is pathetic. It's all scripted shit. So Baron Corbin, don't win the briefcase. I really don't think Orton needs a briefcase. So he'd probably be my next person I'd say no. I don't think Randy needs it. As far as guys like Finn Balor, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and I don't really. I'd be okay with them winning it, but I really don't think it's going to really do much for them right now. I don't see any direction with them with the briefcase right now. But that's a little bit of an issue I have with there. And another an issue. So who are the top three? I think. Well, I say we're only top two. Because I think there's a chance Drew McIntyre can win this briefcase also. But I really don't think Drew McIntyre needs a briefcase. He doesn't need the briefcase to win the world title. I mean, I have some very, mixed thoughts now of, who I want to see be the one to dethrone Seth Rollins. Because originally my plan months ago was say, okay, have Seth Rollins win the title at what's it called? Have Seth Rollins win the title at WrestleMania, and then have him hold it on until SummerSlam and get dethroned by Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre deserves that belt. But of course, there's Bray Wyatt now, who's really starting to get some attention with the Firefly Funhouse. He even got my attention big time for sure this past week on Raw with that segment. So 1 to 2 could be happening there, but again, I still don't think Drew McIntyre needs a briefcase. Until this past week on Raw, my pick to win was for sure Andrade. And you know what? I still think Andrade can win the briefcase. But based off, of course, also what we got on SmackDown last night, I think Andrade is going to be feuding with Finn Balor, and he's going to be the one to dethrone Finn Balor of the Intercontinental Championship sometime over the summer. So I think he has some of a direction. He can be okay without the briefcase for now. But if anything, he's one person I think out of them, he's one people that can benefit most win the briefcase. So Andrade is my second pick. My pick to win, which was before this match even announced. And of course, I was very upset this man was not in the match at first, but now that he's in it, even though the route they've gone to give him there is strange, he got thrown into a dumpster. They could have done something else to punish Braun Strowman for, and take him out of the match. But honest to Pete, I really think Sami Zayn needs to win this briefcase. My pick to win is Sami Zayn. Again, Andrade, he's okay. He has an avenue right now for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn has been in this rut for how long now? Where yes, especially since he's turned heel, his microphone skills, he's given more time on the microphone. One of the best on the microphone for sure, and one of the best in the ring too. They just haven't given him any serious direction yet so far in his main roster career. I mean, yes, he was part of Kevin Owens and Kevin Owens giving the Authority hell on SmackDown Live when he first turned heel before they both came back over to Raw. They were fired, but like who was the one taking most of the pins most of the time during that? Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has cut some of the best heel promos right now, even though, according to, again, that podcast, 3-hour podcast from that writer, apparently it's just Vince McMahon, telling Sami Zayn. It's basically Vince McMahon using Sami Zayn to, tell the crowd what he really thinks of them, which, yeah, in some ways the promos work for a character like Sami Zayn. But same time, what where is he going? This is all he's doing is just giving good promos. I mean, he's not getting anything else to begin with. So I really feel Sami Zayn should win the briefcase. Now, Jay King did suggest the idea of Sami winning the briefcase, and since SummerSlam is in Toronto, in Canada, would it be something to have a Canadian cash in and win Money in the Bank at SummerSlam? It would be nice, but I don't know. I really think I really want to see either Drew or Bray win that Money in the Bank briefcase. And would that really be a prime time for Sami Zayn to cash in on them? Although I'm also wondering, let's say if Kofi Kingston retains on Sunday. Since Sami Zayn, because of the wild card rule, has been coming over to help Kevin Owens, what if Sami Zayn wins the briefcase and he cashes in on Kofi Kingston, whether if for somehow the WWE title match would take place after after the Money in the Bank ladder match, or if not, just one like a SmackDown afterwards or something like that. I don't know though, because again, would Sami Zayn move over to SmackDown then? It's confusing. I don't know. I really do not know, when he would cash in. But with that being said, I still think of any of those 8, the one who needs it the most is Sami Zayn. The only other person, again, I really think should get it is Andrade. Again, like Ali, Ricochet, and Balor, I wouldn't be upset if they won, but I just don't see any direction with them as Money in the Bank right now. McIntyre, okay, but again, I really don't think he needs a briefcase or doesn't really need it at all. And Baron Corbin, no. No. Like the only person I'm like absolutely, positively, no. Like, I'll take Randy Orton over Baron Corbin, but I still don't really think Orton needs a briefcase either. So, Sami Zayn is my pick to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match for this year. Nobody in the live chat, but let's get to the final 2 matches. The first one is my United States title match with Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. I don't think Rey's the proper person for Joe to drop the title to. So I think Joe will retain the title, but it'll be like how it was for John Cena and Brock Lesnar in 2014. The first match was an absolute squash. The next match is a better match, looking like the person who got squashed last month could have won, but I think Joe will retain the United States Championship. And then finally, a WrestleMania main event worthy match. And honestly, the biggest dream match I have at the moment that I've wanted to see for 3 years now. Seth Rollins and AJ Styles for the Universal Championship. Boy, again, I have wanted to see this match ever since I watched that 24 special on Seth Rollins when he was returning from injury. I've wanted to see that match so bad. So bad. I wanted to see it. So Seth Rollins and AJ Styles is happening. Again, the 24 special again featured that one match, and Seth talked about it on Monday from 13 years ago when Seth was 19 years old. He had a match with AJ Styles on some indie show. I can't remember which promotion it was. And Seth Rollins actually, lost to AJ, but AJ really put over Seth afterwards, saying like, this kid's got some talent. And I wanted to see this match so bad, and we're getting it. Would I like to see that like WrestleMania or SummerSlam? Absolutely, but we're still getting it, and I'm not going to complain. This is the match I think should main event the show. If not, then maybe I'll accept the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, or even Kofi and Owens. They want to do Kofi and Owens, go for it. But I really think it should be AJ and Seth. This is the biggest match on this card for sure. How should I think this should go though? Well, I'll go out on a limb and say I think Seth will retain clean on AJ. I think, as Universal Champion, yes, they could do some ways where Seth, rolls up AJ, like something not to make AJ look too weak or anything. I think he'll win by like roll up or something like that. But I think it's going to be a match where really showing how good both of these guys really can be. We'll have some great counters and back and forth and whatnot. And, I just think it's way too early for Seth Rollins to be dropping the championship. I think he deserves to have like a long run. Don't have him just, beat Brock Lesnar, even if it was not, a normal looking match. How would you have him beat Brock Lesnar and then drop the title in his first title defense? He's the Beast Slayer. He's got to have a good reign with it. So I think Rollins will retain. And I do think it's possible we may see AJ Styles fully turn heel. I wasn't really feeling him being a heel on SmackDown, but since he's come over to Raw and, the more heelish side he's presented in this feud, I think it is a little bit like safer bet to have AJ go full on heel. They want to do that. So I think there is a chance we could see a full on AJ Styles heel turn. Even though, of course, I don't know if this feud will be continuing or not, since, again, it looks like it looks like Seth Rollins is going to be feuding with Baron Corbin for the B pay-per-views over the summer, which, whatever. I'm not sure, but I think there is a chance we could see an AJ Styles heel turn. But I do think Seth Rollins should be retaining this title as well. I don't see any title changes happening on this show. I don't think there should be. But that's my pick to win. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. Well, Seth Rollins retains over AJ Styles. So once more, here's my picks to win the matches. On the pre-show, We've got Tony Nese retaining over Arya Daivari, Daniel Bryan and Rowan retaining over the Usos, Miz winning by escape in a steel cage match, Bayley winning the women's Money in the Bank briefcase, Kofi retaining over Owens, Becky retaining both of her belts against Lacey and Charlotte, Roman defeating Elias. I got Sami Zayn winning the men's Money in the Bank briefcase, Samoa Joe retaining the United States Championship, and then Seth Rollins retaining against AJ Styles. That, guys, is my Money in the Bank 2019 preview and predictions. Thank you to the couple people who participated in the live chat. So, guys, what are your thoughts for Money in the Bank 2019? What are your expectations? What are your match of the night going to be? Could any of these matches be match of the year or whatnot? Don't want to overhype, because I don't think this is going to be that good of a show. I mean, could be good, but we'll see. And who do you think is winning the ladder matches? And when they're going to cash in, do you think? Leave that down in the comment section below. And there's always a slap a like on my video, subscribe for more content on my channel. You may follow me on Twitter as well at TheManAirboy93. And also, guys, make sure to check out my WrestleMania Experience documentary found in the description box down below. And with that, guys, I will see you guys later for my NXT UK and NXT live reviews. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your day, and peace out, everybody.